Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please rise. It is with great pleasure, on behalf of the faculty and staff, that I present to you the first class of the Fuqua School of Business, Master of Management Studies, Duke Kunshan University. You may be seated. This has been a great year for Duke University. This year was the first time that any school at Duke University has been ranked #1, as the business school was ranked #1 in Bloomberg Business Week. It's also a year in which the men's basketball team won a national championship for the 5th time. But today is an especially great day, and it's a great and historic day for Duke University and for Duke Kunshan University, because this is the first graduating class from Duke Kunshan University, and we are extremely proud of all of you graduates. We thank you so much for the boldness and the courage that you showed in becoming a part of a program which was something new, different, and we think incredibly exciting. So we thank you for what you've done to make the most of your experience and to make a great program even better. So we thank you for all you've done, and we're very excited to celebrate your day today. We also thank the friends and family that are with us here today, and we miss the ones that can't be with us today. But for those of you who are here to share in this wonderful occasion, makes it all the more special. So thank you for your presence today. And finally, thank you to the fine faculty and staff of Duke University and Duke Kunshan University who have worked so hard to create an incredible experience that bridges 2 universities across 2 countries into a seamless package. And so all of us are thrilled to have everyone in the audience with us today, and I look forward to a spectacular graduation ceremony. At this point, what I'd like to do is to turn things over to Chancellor Liu. He is the Chancellor of Duke Kunshan University. He is an incredibly distinguished academic, and we're very, very fortunate that he chose to take on the role as the first Chancellor of this great institution. Chancellor Liu.
Please allow me in Chinese for more convenience. 尊敬的各位来宾、同学们、老师们、先生们、女士们，下午好。今天是我们昆山杜克大学历史上的盛大节日 ，DKU 迎来了他的第一批硕士学生的毕业典礼，也是第一次学生的毕业典礼。再过10几分钟 ，MS 的学生都将领到杜克Fuqua商学院的硕士学位证书，这是你们人生的又一个里程碑，也是 DKU 成长的一个里程碑。
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today, we witness a grand festival in DKU's history, for it's the first commencement for our master program students, and it's the first student graduation ceremony. In a couple of minutes, MMS students will receive the degree conferred by Duke University's Fuqua School of Business. This is one more milestone in your life, and also one in DKU's growth too.
你们既是杜克 Fuqua 商学院的学生和校友，也是 DKU 的首批学生和校友。我深信，这种双重的身份不会成为你们心中纠结的困惑，而是你们人生财富的源泉。
You are not only the students and alumni of Duke University's Fuqua School of Business, but also the first group of students and alumni of Duke Kunshan University. I'm confident that this dual identity will be your lifelong asset rather than a doubt that confuses you.
因此，今天我和 Mary 常务副校长非常荣幸的和 Fuqua 商学院的院长 William Bordering 教授，还有杜克大学董事会董事高希庆教授等一道来主持今天的庆典仪式。
Our Executive Vice Chancellor Mary Bullock and I are privileged to co-host today's commencement with Professor William Boulding, Dean of Fuqua School of Business, and Professor Gao Xiqing, member of Duke Board of Trustees.
首先，我要对同学们能够跨越太平洋，在两个最伟大的国家间有过时间不长但内涵又十分丰富的求学经历表示由衷的羡慕。另外，对你们求学期间就有幸跨越东西方两种不同文化，开展多维的思维碰撞与交流，表示内心的庆幸。因为杜克、武大和昆山共同创造的 DKU 这个中美合作高校的平台，给予了大家这个机会。
First, I would like to express my admiration to you. You have not only studied in two of the greatest countries across the Pacific Ocean, but also experienced intensive and enriching learning within a relatively short time. Second, I feel fortunate for you that you have the opportunity to experience the collection, blending, and communications between the Eastern and the Western culture thanks to Duke University, Wuhan University, and Kunshan government. It's a Sino-American partnership education platform established by the three parties that makes such an opportunity possible.
最后，我更要对你们通过1年的努力获得杜克 Fuqua 商学院的 MMS 硕士学位表示衷心的祝贺。借此机会，我还要对来到 DKU 参加今天庆典仪式的近100位学生家长朋友们表示诚挚的欢迎，同时也要感谢你们对 DKU 的热情支持和长期的关怀。
More importantly, I would like to congratulate you on receiving the Master of Management Studies degree from the Fuqua School of Business. That's a reward for your 1 year's hard work. Besides, I would like to extend our warmest welcome to the parents present here. Thank you very much for your kind support and care for DKU.
此外，为了感谢同学们，我们将以首届 MMS 学生的名义命名学校内的一张长椅。
And in recognition and appreciation of the first MMS class, we have named a campus bench the inaugural DKU MMS Class 2015.
在同学们即将踏上人生新的征途之际，你们又将迎来新的挑战。请深信，在你们碰到困难的时候 ，DKU 将会送给你们信心；在你们遭遇挫折的时候 ，DKU 就是你们的支柱。 在你们取得成就的时候 ，DKU 定会给予你们祝福。请深信，无论你们是就天人之礼数，还是探自然之精微，或是献终生于斯民 ，DKU 赋予你们的将是终身关怀。谢谢大家。
You are to face new challenges, but please be assured that DKU will give you confidence when you are in difficulties, support you with encouragement when you are frustrated, and congratulate you with best wishes when you achieve accomplishments. No matter what you will pursue in your life, either studying the wonders and secrets of humanities and the nature, or devoting yourself to the welfare of those in need, DKU endows you with life-lasting care and support. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Liu, for those wonderful remarks. And now I'd like to introduce Executive Vice Chancellor Bullock. We're also incredibly fortunate to have her a part of the leadership team for this great institution.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to DKU. Congratulations to the Management Studies graduates of Duke University's Fuqua School of Business. And as you're being told over and over again, you were also the inaugural graduating class of Duke Kunshan University. Congratulations. I remember when you arrived in mid-January, when the temperature was cold and the air was foggy, but you brought with you an infectious energy that brightened those winter days. And now it is summer. We have watched you walk across the lake and to your classes, struggling in the early morning, and we have also heard about your field trips from your faculty, and sometimes wished we could have gone along. A mystique has surrounded you, a close-knit class from many countries, ready now to bring some management know-how to whatever vocation you choose. In retrospect, I wish we had engaged you to study DKU itself. We are, after all, a startup, and some of you are going to be leading startups as well. We would have benefited from your insight into how to improve our processes, communication, financial planning, marketing, and communication. And so consider this an invitation to write to us as well. We welcome your recommendations. You are the graduates, the first graduates of Duke Kunshan University, a great Sino-American partnership. We trust you will wear this designation proudly, always remembering the months that you have spent in Kunshan. We know that the experience of living in China and the spirit of global learning has prepared you for a deeper understanding of the complex world in which we live. Congratulations to the families and congratulations to the graduates.
Thank you. If I could now ask Wang Qichao to come to the podium, the MMS DKU class president.
Thank you, Bill, Chancellor Liu, and Mary. Today, my speech won't be as long as my banana speech. I just want to share my thoughts right now, and then present the award of excellence in teaching. Today is May 20th. In Chinese language, it represents the meaning of I love you. Of course, we love Fuqua. We love here at DKU. And we love our family, and we love people who are sitting next to you. As an inaugural class of MMS DKU program, we definitely bear unexpected challenge. However, we survived. In Helen's words, we are killing it. We go through ups and downs, even sometimes with more frustrations. but still it's a rewarding and exciting year. We witnessed Duke won NCAA championship and also witnessed Fuqua ranked #1 best school in the United States. It is these challenges and achievements that bind us even tighter with love, with the spirit of Team Fuqua. Maybe 5 or 10 years later, when we come back here of Fuqua with love, we would more appreciate what we experienced here in these 10 months, and we would recall and tell kids here, we shaped this program, and we shaped this university. Thanks again for trusting me to present and lead this class. Thank you. Now please allow me to introduce our Excellence in Teaching Award, which has been voted on collectively by the class of 2015. As we all know, many of professors this year could receive this award because we go to Fuqua. We have the best professors in the world. However, this professor demonstrated unique engagements with all of us, both inside and outside the classroom. These professors made statistics not boring anymore. These professors love to play music before class started. This professor even distributed M&M chocolate in class to teach us the concept of sampling. These professors sent us a greeting picture right after Duke won NCAA championships. So, congratulations to Professor Alessandro Aroso. Please welcome Steve on the stage to receive the award.
So as director of the MMS program, I probably will accept this on behalf of all of our faculty. I know Alessandro will be really excited to receive this, and I spoke to all of our faculty that have come back to Durham, and they absolutely love teaching you. So congratulations, and thank you.
In the spirit of giving and continuous improvement, then I'd like to welcome to the stage those individuals whose work this year will help Fuqua to continue to grow. Now please welcome Class Gift Committee, Young, Ryan, Simeon, and B on stage.
Thank you, Potter. On behalf of the class of 2015, we'd like to present this check to Dean Boulding to show our support for the Fuqua School of Business. This gift to the annual fund will support the highest priority needs of Fuqua, including faculty research, scholarships, and global initiatives. This is a fantastic year for the MMS program. We were able to raise $575 for the Fuqua annual fund. And in addition, for the first time in MMS history, we were able to reach our goal of 100% class participation. Thank you all for your support.
Everyone should get a chance to hold a really big check like this. It's a great thing to be able to do. I'm so thrilled to see what this class has done, that not only have you given your sweat equity in terms of investing in this program and making sure that it's better for those who follow you, but you're also willing to give your financial support. And so I'm so appreciative that you're willing to invest in those that will follow, and to have 100% participation is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much.
Okay, next comes to our graduation speaker. The first time I talked to him, I was deeply impressed by how frequently he speaks Chinese. I always imagine someday I can speak English as well as he speaks Chinese. Jonathan had a huge passion and deep knowledge about China. He is definitely the good representative of MMS DKU program. I know all of you cannot wait to hear from John. Now let's welcome John on stage.
各位领导、老师们、同志们、各位来宾，大家下午好。这边老外太多了，我先说点英语，好吧 So first of all, on behalf of our class, I want to thank everyone that made this program possible. It's a lot of people, but I want to throw out a special thanks to those responsible for the scholarship funds that many of our classmates got help from. The list is too long, so I'm just going to jump into it, but everybody knows. You know. So as I bet you guys are all aware, we're in China right now. And while the differences might be the things that stick out, really there's a lot of similarities deep down. And wanting to move forward with education, and it's there. And there's a lot of shared hopes and dreams and skills and all of these things. And Duke, Wuhan, and Kunshan are all coming together, and they're going to be really, excuse me. Okay, I wrote this really well, and I can't remember it anymore. They've decided to take an active role in shaping the future of education, and through our MMS DKU program in particular, to form a group of individuals with an integration of both Chinese and American experience with the #1 ranked business knowledge and skills.
Tell them.
真的这种中美合作这个教育方式，刚好能促进中美互相了解发展。At Durham, we obviously were really busy with class, but even outside of class, after we integrated and became a part, we knew what it was like to be a Dookie, and we knew what it was to be a part of Team Fuqua. We also did things outside of class. We saw basketball, football, tailgating, and we made lots of unforgettable memories that I don't remember much of anymore at the shooting. 我们中国的同学，他们也是体验到了美式中餐，然后现在能更好珍惜在家父母给你们做菜。Since coming to China, some of us have come closer and others further away from home. Whether we were busy with coursework or we were traveling around China or Greater Asia on corporate visits, we really had the chance to bring D to DKU, and that's what we did. I can honestly say, when I quoted this profound quote from one of our classmates, that is absolutely true. We know more Chinese now than we ever have before. To wrap up, choosing DKU shows that each of us has a desire to be part of continued innovation and cooperation between China, the U.S., and the rest of the world. So whatever we do after graduation, whether we jump into business or we do more studies or we do whatever else, you guys are amazing, you're going to do amazing stuff. We really need to thank everybody one more time who made this program possible. And I'm going to end with a quote, a famous quote. 好好学习，天天上课。I think it's something we can all relate to, whether you know it or not. Thank you.
Jonathan, thank you so much for your terrific speech. And your language facility is impressive. It is now my enormous pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Gao Xiqing. When we look for a commencement speaker, we have very, very high standards. We want someone who has gained wisdom through experience, because we want someone to share their wisdom with these graduates as they enter into the next phase of their journey. We want someone who is accomplished in terms of what they've achieved in their own careers, and therefore can serve as a role model, someone where the graduates can possibly emulate this person and hope to achieve similar success. And if we're lucky, then we have someone who is connected to Duke, because we like to be able to feature people who are connected in some way with Duke and Duke Kunshan University. But above all, what we look for is someone who can be a role model. Someone that you can look to and say, yes, this is someone who is accomplished, this is someone who has done successful and significant things in their lifetime, but they've done them in a way where you have enormous respect for that individual, and you feel like this is someone that you can trust, someone you can respect, and someone who, yes, you truly do want to emulate in terms of their behaviors. And so we're very fortunate to have our speaker today who checks every box that we would hope to have. He is, I think it's not saying too much to claim that he is the architect of China's modern financial system. If you look at his roles, you can see that he served as the president of the China Investment Corporation, which is China's sovereign wealth fund. Prior to that role with the CIC, he served as the vice chairman for the National Council for the Social Security Fund of China, and before that served as the vice chair of the China Securities Regulatory Commission. And so he's had a hand in some incredibly significant roles in shaping both the present and the future shape of the Chinese economy and how the Chinese economy interacts with the global economy. And so I would say that that is an incredibly significant set of achievements that he's had. We're lucky he is a Duke Law graduate from 1986. And he is currently involved with Duke and Duke Kunshan University in a very significant role. He is a trustee of Duke University and serves on the DKU advisory board, and has been a great friend to us as we work hard to establish this great new initiative that is a combination of both what's best in East and in West. And so he's someone who checks all the boxes, but above all, he is a person who I personally respect tremendously for doing things the right way. He is a person of uncompromising integrity. He has an ethical standard that is unmatched by anyone. He is someone who has incredible resilience, someone who's faced setbacks in his life and has always bounced back and become stronger. And he has an incredible level of humility for someone who is so very accomplished, but at the same time, he has extraordinary ambition to make the people and the institutions around him better. He earns our highest accolade, which is he is a true global leader of consequence. Trustee Gao, if you could please take the podium.
Thank you, Bill. I wish I could live up to that image, but I mean, congratulations, boys and girls, for overcoming your fears of not completing your studies and your fears of not graduating, not doing well in school, not finding a job, or not finding a good job. Of course, if you are what we call a 官二代 or 富二代, second generation, rich and powerful, you don't have to worry about that. But even with that, you think you are free of all the fears? If you are a 官二代, aren't you not afraid of being knocked on the doors of your parents' house late at night by the party disciplinary committee people? Okay. But are you, by now, most, if not all of you, are beyond those fears because you are equipped with a degree and a wealth of knowledge offered and bestowed by the none other than soon-to-be world-famous DKU. Come on, you know, the Fuqua people were the most pompous group only 2 weeks ago during our Duke graduation. And you guys sit there silent like dead people. Okay, think about it. How many times can you be the first group of graduates from a great university in a fast-growing economy, which will become the biggest economy in the world, probably before you get sick and tired of your first employer, and probably before you get sick and tired of your first spouse, and sick and tired of your child. By now, with those fears behind you, you are probably all geared up for the great cycle of greed. Gordon Gekko, I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. It made in the 80s. This is the fictional epitome of the greedy Wall Street eye bankers. Once said, greed is good because it motivates people to work hard, because it makes the economy grow, and because it employs people. However, everything comes with a price. Greed and all the trappings as a result of it has produced a lot more disastrous events than the good it produces, especially in today's world. Look around, you see greed everywhere. The cleavage between the few rich and the massive poor becomes ever wider. The anxiety and the discontentment of the general population, I mean 99% of the population, becomes ever more severe. The irreversibility of the environmental deterioration becomes ever more obvious, and the possibility of realizing the dreams of a harmonious society, an all-equal brotherhood, where everyone is free, affluent, and happy, becomes ever more remote. What do we do then? You may ask. Confucius once said, you know, you're in China, so you have to quote Confucius. Say, 子曰见其所见，不见其所不见. How many of you graduates can explain what that is? Confucius said, you see what you should see, and you do not see what you should not see. What does that mean? That means that you only need to look at the bigger picture. You need to look at bigger things. And you don't have to concentrate on the smaller things. And you see the bigger picture, yet you need to work hard on the small matters. Never let the small matters obstruct your view of the bigger picture. But what big picture? There's another quote from one of Confucius' contemporaries, which says, 覆巢之下，气有完卵. If you try to find an unbroken egg in a tossed, overturned nest of bird, can you find it? No. If we do not take care of our home, our village, our land, our country, and our world, how are we going to ensure our own prosperity, our happiness, our freedom, and even our very basic safety and existence? By Chinese standard, you guys are now called 知识分子, intellectuals. What are intellectuals? Once again, Confucius said, those intellectuals who proud themselves as intellectuals are what we say, 群居终日，言不及义，好行小惠，难以忍. What does that mean? You guys sit together, you get stuck together, looking at your small things like Instagram, Facebook, WeChat, and hoping to be smarter than the other person. But lost your vision to the bigger picture. What are the big picture? What are the great wisdom? What I would like to preach here today, as you always expect as a trustee of the university, you need to do good. And you have just done some good by donating some $500 to DKU. That's your first goal. But DKU surely will need a lot more than that. So we need, we have a lot more things to do. DKU is not the only thing I'm thinking of. You look at climate change, look at the environment, especially here in Shanghai area. And sometimes we look at the seemingly blue sky and ask people in Shanghai, no, the sky is blue, but the air is not clean. We need to do something about that, right? You need to look at the medical field. You need to try to create more affordable medicine for the people. Look at our medical system in China. Look at the United States, or in any one of the 8 countries represented here. You need to look at the poor people without any means of financing. So I'm thinking of small loan facilities in various places. You need to look at the educational system. You all know Teach for America. Do you know Teach for China? You know Teach for the World? These are the people who donate themselves, who devote themselves at least a year or 2 in teaching in the remote areas for the poor people. For the kids who otherwise would not have had the opportunity to get access to better education, to the sort of information you guys have. And alternative energy. And all sorts of good things that you can think of. You guys are smart enough. You don't need me to point out what these things are. As a business degree recipient, though, you guys are predispositioned to make money. That we know already. But, as we say, I've been working with all these philanthropic organizations, and I always try to tell people, look, you can do well while doing good. Okay? Think about that. And I'm saying that not, tongue-in-cheek. I'm thinking of that, think of all our role models, my role models. Like who? Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Steve Schwarzman, Ray Dalio, 张磊、潘石屹、张欣、郑裕彤、李嘉诚、王光裕, just to name a few. You know all these people. Now it becomes a fact for the rich people, for some of the rich people, to do good and to even donate most of their wealth to the good courses. And since you guys have been talking to all the graduates in various schools, but you guys are probably the closest to money. So, here I am, preaching to you to do just that. 20 years from now, I hope, you'll be able to look back and say that I've done something useful to the society, to mankind, to the world we live in, and have made it a bit better, or at least have slowed down the deterioration process a little more. If every one of us, as a Dukie, can say this to ourselves, then together we can make a huge difference, and hopefully will reverse the deterioration process and create a cleaner safer, fairer, kinder, and a better world. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Gao, for those very insightful remarks. On behalf of Duke University and DKU, I'd like to present you with this gift. If I could now ask Patrick Morton to come to the podium for a special recognition of graduates. Patrick is both a Fuqua faculty member and an Associate Dean for Graduate Studies at DKU. Patrick.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and my fellow faculty and staff members, this evening we are recognizing a singular accomplishment in the life of our students, the completion of their work as Masters of Management Studies students at the Fuqua School of Business and Duke Kunshan University. For all of the class of 2015, it has required discipline and diligence to work through 10 months of cases, team projects, exams, and assignments, while balancing those efforts with the need to start their careers, develop and sustain relationships, and navigate not just one, but at least two cultures. All of you in the class of 2015 should be proud of what you've accomplished, and you've all distinguished yourself in that process. However, I think it is also right and appropriate on this occasion to acknowledge individually a number of graduates who have distinguished themselves through the excellence of their work, service, and leadership. First, as is the custom for each graduating class at the Fuqua School of Business, we recognize the top 10% of the class for their academic achievement. These students are designated as Fuqua Scholars and are so noted in your program. I will read the names of the Fuqua Scholars alphabetically. I would ask that each of them stand at that time, but I would also ask that the audience wait until I have read all the names before indicating their support and congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, the Masters of Management Studies, Duke Kunshan University, class of 2015 Fuqua Scholars are Yuan Huang, Angel David Medina Rodriguez, Yuning Zhang. As is also the case, the custom at the Fuqua School of Business and now at Duke Kunshan University, the students in the graduating class and the Fuqua and DKU administration nominate and select students for a number of awards based on their contribution of service and leadership to the Fuqua and DKU communities. And given this is the inaugural class, these people have really distinguished themselves at a very, very important time for the university as we get our start. These awards and the recipients are noted in your program, but I will read their names and their awards and ask them to stand again and to be recognized by their classmates and our gathered guests. I would also again ask that the audience wait until I've read the names before indicating the support and congratulations. In alphabetical order, the students are Ian Lee, the recipient of the Distinguished Service Award, Angel David Medina Rodriguez, the recipient of the Dean's Recognition Award, and Sichong Wong, recipient of the Dean's Leadership Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating them on that. Now it is time to individually recognize each of our graduates who will be asked to come forward and to be recognized and congratulated. At this time, I'd like to ask Dean Boulding, Professor Gao, and Chancellor Liu to please step forward. They'll be greeting our students and congratulating them. And I'd also like to invite Steve Mizuraka, the Director of the MMS programs at the Fuqua School of Business, Ann Lee, the Assistant Director of the MMS DKU program, and Bonnie Leo, the Associate Director of Career Services of the MMS program DKU, to come forward and read the names of our graduating students. Thank you. Shichao Potter Wong. Simone Marie Buller. Lucia Soledad Garcia. Jonathan Isaac Moore. Jingle B. Simeon Joseph Morris. Ryan Philip Safian. Young Lee. Tian Bai. Yan Liu.
静竹刘。加树立。Melanie Goldman. Mihail Shaligin.燕生刘。Julia Elizabeth Katz. Jin Yong Kyo.杨贝贝吕。Oscar Dorian Vela. Anisha Maraca.
Medina.仲祥轩。Austin David Taylor.房默。林雪吕。雪晴金。孙黄。圆圆黄。
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the MMS DKU class of 2015. If I could ask the graduating class to please stand. I'd like to take this opportunity to speak to you directly before we reach the end of the ceremony. And I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to make some requests of you. But I also wanted to explain that when Trustee Gao was talking about the FUPA graduates at the Big Duke graduation, they were really loud. And so they were the loudest group of all the groups, even though they're smaller in number than the other parts of Duke University. And after the ceremony, the commencement speaker asked me, why were the FUPA students so loud? I said, because they're happy. And so I will come back to this idea of happiness, but one of the things that I wish for all of you is happiness, but I'll say a bit more about that. So the first thing is I do want to thank you. You took a chance on us, and you took a chance on doing something in your life that would take you on a different path, a path that had never been used before. You created that path. And not only did you create that path in a way that others will be able to find the path, but you improve the path as you went along. The highest standard of leadership is to move into an opportunity and leave that place better than what you found. And certainly all of you have met that standard. You have made us better. You've made Duke University better, you've made the Fuqua School of Business better, and you've made DKU better. And for that, we can't thank you enough for all of your extraordinary contributions. It's fantastic. Now, whenever we reach graduation, the students become curious about what is it about us that makes us special. And so they'll say, well, kind of, what do you really think of us? And when a student asks me that, I know what they really are asking for, which is, what do you think of us, and are we your favorite students ever? And so let me say, without question, you are the best MMS DKU graduating class. So you really have done something extraordinary, and what makes you special is that you've chosen to do something that is so very special. You didn't choose something safe, you chose something where you really could make a difference. And so I have no doubt that all of you will follow Trustee Gao's advice to do something meaningful with your lives, to make a difference for other people, and not just be selfish in your approach to life. Certainly none of you have shown any selfishness in what you've contributed to us. So thank you again. So the requests are simple. I'm not going to ask you for more money. You've done that, so thank you. But I'm going to ask you to do something that's very, very important. First, this day is your day. But it's also the day for all the people who got you here. And so please remember, as you're celebrating, as you're soaking up, as you should, the happiness of this moment, please don't forget the people who got you here. Some of them may be here, and if they're here, please thank them repeatedly. If they're not here, please thank them as soon as you get an opportunity. But remember to always be gracious to those who gave you a helping hand, because they're the ones who made it possible for you to achieve great things within this program, and now have the opportunity to achieve great things on the next stage of your journey. So please stop and take that opportunity frequently and as often as you possibly can. The next request I have of you is also very important. And this one, you probably will think as soon as I say it, of course we'll do that. Here's the request. Stay in touch with each other. And when I say that, I hope your reaction is, well, why wouldn't we stay in touch with each other? We've become so close. We've done so many amazing things together. We've blazed new trails, and that brings people closer together when they can do that successfully. But the reality is, as you look at these flags on the stage and you think about your classmates, you will now go to different parts of the world, and you will pursue different opportunities. And if you're not careful, the relationships that you've built will fade away. It takes work to build on relationships that have been established. And I beg of you to continue to put the work into maintaining the relationships that you've built with your classmates. If you think about what you've been able to accomplish together over these last 10 months, that pales in comparison to what you can accomplish together over, say, the next 50 years. Because these are people who will support you, stand by you, advise you, help you. Don't lose that opportunity that you've created. The next thing is, don't forget us. Stay in touch with us. And when I say us, again, you're in a unique position, which is you've got connections to Duke University in North Carolina. You've got connections to DKU right here. You've got connections to the alumni network, the Duke Alumni Network, wherever you go in the world. And so stay in touch. Don't lose those connections so that you feel a part of the incredible institution, the incredible community that you've joined. And make sure that you think about, as you've done with everything you've done to date, that you continue to think about those people who will follow you. And you invest in them with your support, your mentorship, your experiences, your networking. Someday you'll be offering the future MMS students jobs. So we want to be sure that you stay connected in significant ways, because once you join this community, it's not a one-year membership. It's a lifetime membership. Make sure that you take advantage of that membership. There's a song or a saying that I thought was associated with the Liverpool Football Club. And that saying is, you'll never walk alone. Turns out that there are probably 1,000 sporting clubs that have adopted this song because the lyrics are so meaningful. The idea that you will never walk alone is a very powerful idea. And that's certainly true for all of you. You will never walk alone because we'll be there for you, DKU will be there for you, all of you will support each other, and the broader community will be there for you. And so make sure that you keep that alive. The last thing is that I humbly request that all of you achieve both success and happiness. If you think about how it is that we will make this venture successful, it's not going to be through our collective speeches. It's going to be through your actions. People will look at you and say, these are the graduates of the MMS DKU program. These are the people who represent what can happen when you bring together great institutions from both the United States and China. And so people will be looking to you to show them what can be achieved. And so your success will be our success. But success is not enough. I think that what you want is a life of both success and significance. And that's where happiness comes in. So I mentioned that the Fuqua graduates at the Big Duke commencement were so very happy. And one of the things that distinguishes people in the Fuqua community is they are happy people. They know how to have fun. And I suspect that all of you have had fun in different places in the world as you've gone through this program. And I think that's a wonderful thing, that we should enjoy each other, we should enjoy life, and we should have fun. But when I talk about happiness, it's not just about fun. When I talk about happiness, I mean it in the sense that Aristotle talked about happiness. When Aristotle talked about happiness, what he meant was you will achieve true happiness if you maximize your potential, if you make full use of your talents along the lines of excellence. And so that's what I wish for all of you. I wish you success and happiness. I wish that each and every one of you makes full use of your incredible talents to make a difference in the lives of others. And if you do that, we will succeed and you will be incredibly happy and lead lives of both success and significance. So with that, you may be seated, and I invite Mary Bullock to the podium. Thank you all.
What a wonderful ceremony and what wonderful comments from Dean Boulding. I want to thank Dean Boulding and the faculty and staff of Fuqua. They have believed in DKU, they've helped bring you here, and we are committed to continuing this program at the highest peaks of excellence. So thank you to all the Fuqua people. I see many people in the room that also should be thanked, and particularly I want to point out several people that have really made this program work in both Durham and at DKU. So Paula Greenlow, will you stand from Durham? And Ann Lee from DKU. And Bonnie Cahill. These people have really helped make this a fabulous program. Thank you so much. I'd also like to acknowledge several of our sponsors who are here. From Dell, Michelle Wu and KK Yuan, and from Bosch, Philip Lee and Kevin Zhou. You are among the people who have supported this program, your companies, and we are very grateful. So thank you for being here today. And now I want to ask everyone here to please remain in your seats. We will have a recessional. And we will invite you, those family and friends and invited guests, to join the graduates in the second floor ballroom for a reception. But please stand now for the recessional, and thank you all.